Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on 10 games in Fanatical's story-rich bundle of October 2025. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and support the channel in the process. Before I begin, I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for watching my silly videos. I hope they're helpful. Most importantly, knowing that you're watching it means the world. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Gestalt, Steam and Cinder, a 2D action platformer that blends steampunk style with Metroidvania structure, putting you in control of Alethea, a mercenary exploring the layered rusted city of Canaan. You'll uncover ancient vaults, battle mechanical foes, and wield strange powers in a world that's both beautifully detailed and decayed. The pixel art is vibrant, animations are slick, and every swing, shot, and dash feels tight and responsive. While the story is rich of lore and intrigue, it sometimes rushes through exposition, tossing out big names and ideas faster than you can process them. Still, the elsewhere cutscenes and side quests add enough flavor to keep you hooked. Combat shines brightest, fast-paced, skill-based, and full of satisfying combos that reward timing and precision. The upgrade system lets you develop Alethea's abilities, though the lack of meaningful build variety keeps progression from feeling fully personal. Some boss fights drag on too long, and the map design can get confusing due to cluttered layouts. The inability to skip cutscenes during replays also slows the pace for speedrunners. Despite these gripes, Gestalt nails the fundamentals: strong mechanics, engaging exploration, and a killer soundtrack that perfectly complements its industrial vibe. Short, but memorable, this is a game made by people who clearly love the genre. If you crave sharp combat, atmospheric worlds, and a story dripping of steam and mystery, you'll find Gestalt, Steam and Cinder a rewarding and stylish adventure. At number 2 we have South of the Circle, a narrative-driven adventure that blurs the line between game and cinematic storytelling. Set in the Cold War era 1960s, you step into the life of Peter, a Cambridge academic, stranded in the Antarctic after a crash. The game weaves between two timelines: Peter's desperate survival in the present and his budding relationship with Clara in the past, all underpinned by socio-political tensions and personal struggles. This is not your typical video game. Instead of fast-paced action or deep interactivity, South of the Circle offers minimal gameplay, focusing on dialogue choices that reflect Peter's emotional responses rather than traditional decisions. You guide him through introspective moments, shaping his reactions and memories in a way that feels more like passive observation than active participation. Visually, the game is stunning, with a minimalist color block art style that creates evocative landscapes and seamless transitions. Its dreamlike aesthetic, paired with an emotive soundtrack, adds to the game's cinematic allure. The performances by Gwilym Lee and Olivia Vanal as Peter and Clara are standout, lending depth and charisma to their complex relationship. However, South of the Circle stumbles in its character work. Peter's flaws, while intentional, make him difficult to root for, especially as the narrative relies heavily on empathy for his journey. The lack of meaningful player agency might leave you feeling detached as the story unfolds on its own terms. While the presentation is polished and the performance is captivating, South of the Circle struggles to balance its narrative ambition with engaging gameplay, leaving you more of a spectator than a participant. At number 3 we have Heads Will Roll, Reforged, a brutal and deeply immersive medieval survival RPG that throws you straight into the mud and misery of the 100 Years' War. You play as a common soldier fighting for survival, wealth, and honor, and whether you rise to knighthood or die nameless in a ditch depends entirely on your choices, skill, and a bit of luck. The game blends tactical turn-based combat with roguelike progression, forcing you to think before every swing. Fatigue, injuries, weapon reach, and morale all play major roles, and a single mistake can cost you everything. When you die, and you will, you'll carry forward the lessons learned, along with bonuses that make your next run stronger and smarter. Each decision outside battle matters too, shaping relationships, unlocking events, and determining how others treat you. There is an impressive depth to the world, hundreds of weapons and pieces of armor, an intricate crafting system, and multiple branching storylines that make each playthrough feel unique. You can play as a relentless roguelike or a more forgiving story mode, but either way, the game demands focus and patience. While the difficulty curve and repetition may frustrate some, that grind is what makes every victory feel earned. The writing captures the desperation and grit of medieval life, with moments of surprising humor and romance. If you crave a harsh, rewarding RPG where survival is not guaranteed, heads will roll Reforged delivers a merciless but satisfying journey. At number 4 we have Change, a homeless survival experience. A game about being homeless, aiming to raise awareness about it. In Change, you must manage your hunger, happiness, and cleanliness. You need to collect enough money to possibly buy some food, and you need to be quite creative with it too, like collecting recyclable materials to sell for spare change. You also need to find shelter before night, and deal with random elements the world throws at you. A lot of times these unexpected blows can feel very unfair and cheap, but it does make every minor victory feel more impactful. Areas are procedurally generated, and you'll navigate through a 2D space with point-and-click controls. There are a handful of characters to choose from, each of their own conditions, with some being unlocked as you play the game. A character called the Veteran, as an example, begins with more cash, or another one has addictions and cigarettes that will affect the game. You can also build out your study level depending on how much you read in the local library, build or decrease notoriety of the police, and look after your social standing with other homeless people. The experience is a balancing act between all of these factors. As you can imagine, begging for money is essential in this game, although success rates can be mixed, and you will receive a lot of insults to your pride. Trips to the bathroom and laundromat can help with reducing these insults. You can even slightly improve your life by getting a basic job with your studies in the library. Landing a job is one of the primary goals of the game, and keeping it as a homeless person will not be easy. This game does a fine job in giving you an experience of a typical day being homeless. It is not easy even in the virtual world, and you'll probably want to donate to a homeless shelter after playing this. At number 5 we have Crystalline, a romantic fantasy visual novel that pulls you into a light-hearted yet emotionally rich adventure. You play as someone mysteriously transported to another world, traveling across kingdoms with a group of lovable companions as you uncover elemental powers and face a shadowy threat. While the premise sounds like standard isekai fare, what sets this game apart is its heart, the relationships, humor, and warmth that grow along the journey. The core of the experience revolves around Liana Dawn, a strong, kind, and fiercely determined knight who feels refreshingly real. As your bond with her deepens, you'll face meaningful choices about love, belonging, and sacrifice. Each character in the group, from Zack the gruff mercenary to Amelia the gifted prodigy, adds their own spark to the story, creating a sense of found family that keeps you invested. Visually, Crystalline is gorgeous. The art is crisp, the world feels alive, and a fully voiced dialogue, featuring talents like Emma Lee and Nathan Sharp, brings an incredible level of polish rarely seen in indie visual novels. The music is equally memorable, amplifying both the adventure and emotional beats. While some pacing hiccups and cringy pop culture cameos occasionally pull you out of the moment, they don't outweigh how charming and heartfelt the rest of the game is. With its engaging cast, touching romance, and beautiful presentation, Crystalline stands as one of the most enjoyable visual novels you can experience. At number 6 we have Staffer Case, a supernatural mystery adventure. A mystery visual novel that throws you into a twisted version of 1960s London, one where people, animals, and even objects can wield supernatural powers known as phenomena. You play as Notric Note Case, a sharp young investigator joining the underfunded experimental division of the Phenomena Bureau, a government agency tasked with controlling these gifted individuals. Alongside a cast of quirky detectives, each with unique powers, you'll find 5 complex cases that bend logic, supernatural intrigue, and political corruption. The core gameplay revolves around piecing together clues, combining evidence, and challenging your teammates' deductions. It's not always forgiving though. You'll sometimes find yourself juggling near-identical documents until you land on the one the game wants. Despite that, it respects your time, allowing infinite retries and offering subtle hints to prevent frustration. Each investigation feels alive, with detailed character dialogue, smart writing, and satisfying aha moments as the truth unfolds. The art and music elevate the experience even further. Whether you're exploring gloomy crime scenes or opulent estates, the visual style always fits the tone perfectly. The soundtrack, though limited, hits all the right tones, especially during tense climaxes when you're piecing everything together. Staffer Case shines as a deep, clever detective game with heart, humor, and world building that sticks with you. If you love supernatural mysteries or logic-driven stories that reward sharp thinking, this one deserves a spot on your list. At number 7 we have BROK the InvestiGator, a unique blend of arcade brawling and point-and-click adventure set in a dystopian world, inhabited by anthropomorphic animals. Combining detective work with combat, you'll guide BROK, a former boxing champion turned private investigator, through a gripping story filled with family drama, mystery, and action. Set in a world divided between impoverished slummers and affluent drummers, BROK's narrative explores societal issues while delving into BROK's strained relationship with his stepson, Graf. Your decisions shape their bond and the outcomes of their investigations, adding emotional weight to the gameplay. The engaging storylines, like uncovering the truth behind BROK's wife's death, are complemented by dynamic choices that lead to multiple endings, ensuring your journey feels personal and impactful. Gameplay alternates between thoughtful detective work and thrilling arcade combat. As BROK, or occasionally Graf, you investigate crimes by collecting clues, interrogating suspects, and making critical decisions. When dialogue fails, switch to action mode to solve problems with your fists. This dual approach offers flexibility, letting you tailor your experience, whether you prefer solving puzzles or smashing obstacles. The art style evokes 90s cartoons, with vibrant visuals and fluid animations. Every character, from BROK to his allies and foes, is richly designed and voiced, making the world feel alive. However, the split gameplay modes work best with different controls, which can feel clunky to switch between. With its heartfelt story, beautiful design, and innovative genre mashup, BROK the InvestiGator delivers a memorable experience. Whether you fight or think your way through, this game ensures every moment counts. At number 8 we have Gestalt To the Moon series Beach episode, a heartfelt and playful continuation of Freebird's game's beloved narrative series. Set after To the Moon, Finding Paradise, and Imposter Factory, this short installment brings you back to the world of Sigmund Core, where technology allows people to rewrite their memories before death. This time, you step into the shoes of Dr. Eva Rosaline, on a rare company beach vacation alongside familiar faces like Neil, Roxy, and Robert. What starts as a carefree getaway soon turns into a reflective and emotional story that deepens the overarching lore of the series. Unlike previous entries, Beach episode lets you relax, explore, and enjoy a handful of lighthearted minigames, from metal detecting to a chaotic surfboard battle, while sprinkling in quiet moments of introspection. The simple 16-bit visuals and signature piano-driven soundtrack deliver an emotional punch that few games can match. Even with its retro RPG Maker presentation, the expressive pixel art and subtle animations breathe genuine life into every character and scene. Conversations remain the heart of the experience, full of warmth, humor, and melancholy that feel grounded in real human emotion. While movement can be clunky and interactions occasionally misaligned, these are minor flaws in an otherwise beautiful experience. Gestalt To the Moon series Beach episode may appear to be a light detour, but is anything but filler. It's a poignant celebration of friendship, memory, and the fleeting joy of a day in the sun, setting the stage for an emotional finale still to come. At number 9 we have Endless Monday, Dreams and Deadlines, a short charming visual novel that perfectly captures the anxious chaos of creative procrastination. You play as Penny, an artist who spent months avoiding a project due Monday, and now finds herself stuck in the office over the weekend, desperately trying to summon inspiration. Instead of the usual productivity, you'll wander through her workplace, chat with eccentric co-workers, and get lost in distractions, including an unexpectedly addictive phone minigame called Lumberlass. What makes this game shine is its personality. Every conversation feels alive, blending humor, self-deprecation, and subtle social commentary that hits especially hard if you've ever stared at a blank page, paralyzed by creative burnout. The dialogue is smart and expressive, giving each character, from Penny's carefree boss Miss Whiskey to her grounded friend Sky, a distinct voice. You'll laugh, relate, and probably cringe too closely at Penny's desperate all-nighter energy. Visually, Dreams and Deadlines is gorgeous, with expressive character art and colorful backdrops that make the late-night office feel oddly cozy. The jazzy, lo-fi inspired soundtrack adds the perfect touch of atmosphere for a story that's as much about creative pressure as it is about finding joy in imperfection. It is short, about 2 hours, but tightly written, replayable, and full of heart. Whether you're chasing deadlines, hiding from them, or just want a beautifully drawn reminder that you're not alone in the chaos, Endless Monday, Dreams and Deadlines is absolutely worth your weekend. At number 10 we have Perfect Gold, Yuri visual novel. A short slice-of-life Yuri visual novel that focuses on love, healing, and second chances. You follow Marion LaRue and Audrey Clary, two estranged magic students who break out of detention to celebrate the Sunflower Festival in the enchanted city of Castle Coast. Instead of action-heavy drama, Perfect Gold offers something quieter and far more personal. Through a dual perspective narrative, you get to understand both Marion's rebellious ambition and Audrey's struggle between duty and desire. Their journey is not about defeating monsters. It is about facing emotional wounds and deciding whether to rebuild a bond once lost. What makes this game shine is its presentation. The voice acting, led by Danny Chambers and Eileen Montgomery, is stellar, making every line feel sincere. The animation, yes, even subtle things like hair movement or blinking, pull you into the world more than most visual novels manage. Whether you're walking through sunlit streets or watching a tender flashback unfold, Castle Coast feels alive. Choices are straightforward, and while romantic stakes are low-key, expect hand-holding, not steamy scenes, they're emotionally satisfying. If you've ever missed someone but didn't know how to say it, this game will speak to you. In around 2 to 5 hours, Perfect Gold delivers a complete, touching story wrapped in great visuals and a moving soundtrack. For the price of the bundle, it's an easy recommendation, especially if you love gentle, heartfelt romance. You'll finish it smiling, maybe even a little wistful, and definitely glad you played it. And that's all for this bundle. Honestly, this bundle is a bit of a mixed bag. Kicking things off with Golem isn't exactly hype material, but dig deeper, and there's some solid stuff buried beneath. Heads Will Roll Reforged will absolutely chew you up if you're not ready for its roguelike grind, but it's part of the fun if you're into pain and progress. Sure, the golden days of $1 bundles might be gone, but if you're smart, this bundle still gives you some bang for your buck. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.